Hello. Welcome to the Learn American English channel, where you learn naturally so you can speak naturally. In this video, we are going to listen to conversations between parents and teachers. This video is divided into two parts where the characters talk about classroom behavior and transitioning to a new grade level. There will be a listening comprehension quiz at the end of each scene. So listen carefully and see if you get all of the questions right. Also, be sure to stay with us until the end of the video. We'll point out important words from the conversations, everyday slang, and the most common way to say things in English. Watch for these words and phrases in the subtitles. You'll find their meanings in the vocabulary section in the last part of the video. Are you excited? This should be fun. First, let's listen to a conversation between Miss Moore and Mr. Wallace as they discuss Mr. Wallace's son's behavior inside the classroom. Let's see how their conversation goes, and don't forget to note the highlighted words for their meanings at the end of this video. Let's dive in.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wallace. How are you today?
Good afternoon, Miss Moore. I'm doing well, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I'm glad we could meet today to talk about Koby. I'd like to discuss how he's been doing in class.
Yes, of course. Is everything okay?
Well, Koby is a bright child, and I can tell he's very curious. However, we've noticed some issues with his behavior in the classroom. I thought we could chat about it to find some ways to help him.
Oh, I see. What kind of issues exactly?
Let's start with how Koby interacts with his classmates. He's friendly and likes to play with others, but sometimes he has trouble taking turns or listening when someone else is speaking.
Yes, I've seen that at home sometimes too. He gets excited and doesn't always wait his turn.
Exactly. We've been working on reminding him to listen and let others speak, but it's something he could improve on.
I understand. I'll talk to him about that. What else have you noticed?
Another thing is following instructions. Koby tends to rush through tasks without really listening to all the details.
Oh, that sounds familiar. He's always been a bit impatient, so he's not waiting for all the instructions?
Yes, that's right. He's eager, which is great, but he needs to slow down a little and pay more attention before jumping in.
That makes sense. I'll try to practice that with him at home. Is he doing okay with participation in activities?
Actually, that's another area I wanted to mention. Koby participates, but sometimes he gets distracted.
Oh, that's Koby for sure. He's always on the go. What do you suggest?
We're trying to give him small breaks to help him burn off some of that energy. And I think that could help at home too.
That's a good idea. I'll try that. So, it sounds like Koby needs to work on listening more carefully, being patient, and staying focused.
Yes, those are the main areas.
Thank you, Miss Moore. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I'll definitely work with Koby on these things.
And please feel free to reach out anytime if you have any questions or concerns.
Thank you so much. I'll talk to Koby tonight.
You're very welcome, Mr. Wallace. I'm sure with your support, we'll see some great improvements soon.
I hope so. Have a good day, Miss Moore.
You too, Mr. Wallace. Take care.
Here are some listening comprehension questions to see how well you understood the conversation between Miss Moore and Mr. Wallace. What behavior does Koby need to improve in the classroom? Koby needs to improve his listening and taking turns when others are speaking. Why does Koby rush through tasks? Koby rushes through tasks because he is eager and sometimes impatient. What strategy does Miss Moore suggest to help Koby stay focused? Miss Moore suggests giving Koby small breaks to help him burn off energy before focusing. So, did you get all the questions correct? Let us know in the comment section. Now let's listen to a conversation between Mr. Crawford and Mrs. Fleming as they discuss Mrs. Fleming's daughter's transition to a new grade level. Let's see how their conversation goes, and don't forget to note the highlighted words for their meanings at the end of this video. Let's begin.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Fleming. Thanks for coming in today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Crawford. Thank you for meeting with me. How is Jean doing so far?
Jean is doing well, but as we move up to the next grade, there are a few things we should talk about to help her with the transition.
What can we do to make sure she's ready?
Things can feel a little overwhelming at first, but with the right support, Jean can adjust smoothly, both academically and emotionally.
I agree, she's been a little worried about the workload. Are there big changes in the lessons?
The workload will increase, but nothing too extreme. In the next grade, students are expected to think more independently. It's important for Jean to get into a routine.
That makes sense. We can work on creating a schedule at home to make sure she has time for studying, but also time to relax.
Exactly. Balance is key. Speaking of relaxing, I think it's important that Jean has a way to manage her stress. Some students can feel a little under the weather when things get too intense. How does Jean handle pressure?
She tends to get quiet when she's stressed, but she enjoys drawing to calm herself down. Should I be worried?
It's normal for students to feel some pressure, especially during transitions. If Jean enjoys drawing, that's great. It's good to have something to turn to when things get a bit heavy. We just need to make sure she doesn't bottle everything up inside.
I'll definitely do that. What about socially? Will there be new challenges for her?
There could be. The next grade means new classmates, and that can sometimes feel like a fish out of water for some students.
Jean is usually shy around new people, but once she opens up, she's very chatty. Do you have any suggestions on how to help her socially?
I suggest encouraging her to join a club or activity. Being part of a group can help her feel more connected.
That's a good idea. Thank you, Mr. Crawford. This conversation makes me feel much better about the upcoming year.
You're very welcome, Mrs. Fleming. I look forward to seeing Jean grow this year.
Before we review the key vocabulary from these conversations, here are some listening comprehension questions to see how well you understood the conversation between Mr. Crawford and Mrs. Fleming. What does Jean do to calm herself when she feels stressed? Jean enjoys drawing to calm herself when she feels stressed. What social challenge might Jean face in the next grade? Jean might feel shy around new classmates. What activity does Mr. Crawford suggest for Jean to join? Mr. Crawford suggests Jean join a club to help her socially. So, how many questions did you get right? Let us know in the comments section. Now, let's review the vocabulary from these conversations. First, we'll review some of the natural-sounding everyday phrases used by native English speakers. Watch the video again after you study the vocabulary words to learn them even better, and subscribe to see our other videos. Jumping in, to start doing something quickly without waiting or thinking about it first. Burn off some of that energy. To use up extra energy by being active or moving around. On the go. To be constantly active or busy, moving around a lot. Bottle everything up. To keep feelings or emotions hidden inside without expressing them. Fish out of water. Feeling uncomfortable or out of place in a new or unfamiliar situation. Now let's review other key vocabulary. Behavior. The way someone acts or conducts themselves, especially towards others. Curious, eager to learn or know something. Impatient, not able to wait calmly. Transition. A change from one situation to another, such as moving to a new grade. Familiar. Something that is known or recognized because it has been seen or experienced before. Were the conversations relatable? Try using these conversations with your family and friends. Thank you for watching the Learn American English channel, where you learn naturally so you can speak naturally. Please click the like button and subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this one.